Basically, Narendra Modi has put out what Manmohan Singh did not for 10 years before him. Manmohan Singh always used to put a line of difference between the well-meaning people in Pakistan and the Pakistani state and the deep state. Narendra Modi says very clearly here today that Pakistan does not have the strength to fight a conventional war, which is why it wants to continue a proxy war. And on the debate, we have this debate in two parts tonight. From Pakistan, General Rashid Qureshi, former spokesperson to Musharraf, and Sadia Khan is leader of the PMLN. Sadia Khan ji and General Qureshi, welcome. And from Delhi, General Bakshi, editor of the Indian Military Review, Maruf Raza, strategic affairs analyst, and Pawan Verma, former diplomat and member of the Rajya Sabha. Thank you very much for joining us. General Bakshi, let me start with you. Are you surprised that Modi said this as clearly as he did today?
Absolutely not, Arnab. I think he has made an absolute statement of fact. Pakistan has initiated 4 wars to grab Jammu and Kashmir by force. 1947-48, Operation Gulmarg. 1965, Operation Gibraltar. 1971, and then the Kargil intrusions in 1999.
Right.
In 1971, Pakistan was broken into 2, and in 1999, it had to eat humble pie. It had to withdraw from every inch. And then they have hit upon this very ingenious answer, of starting a proxy war against India, which is low cost, no cost. That is the problem. So far, we haven't raised costs for Pakistan enough. What Pakistan does not realize, and we have our Pakistani interlocutors here, facing us, what Pakistan does not realize is that its constant use of non-state actors is destabilizing the state of Pakistan. No Westphalian nation state can afford to have armed non-state actors floating around in the numbers that they are in Pakistan. And therefore, if Pakistan does not watch its step, I'm afraid the first entity it is going to harm is itself. We are required now to put this message across clearly to Pakistan. Your proxy war cannot be low cost and absolutely will not be no cost. It absolutely will not be no cost. The Indian electorate has given a decisive mandate to Mr. Modi because they were fed up with the pusillanimity of the last regime.
Right.
They wanted action. They are looking forward to action.
General Qureshi, I think I have you on the line now. And Sadia Khan, welcome. I think the audio line is through. General Bakshi, in his opening comments, strongly supports Narendra Modi's statement today and says, yes, Narendra Modi is absolutely right. Pakistan has lost the basic strength to fight a conventional war. And he also says that Pakistan must realize that its proxy war cannot be low cost and will certainly not be no cost. So Modi has really rubbed it in, hasn't he, General Qureshi? He's rubbed in the fact that you don't have the strength to fight a conventional war, which is why you choose the terror route. He isn't giving you the leg room, General Qureshi, that Manmohan Singh gave you all along. He's taken that away. I'm sure you've noted his comment, and I'd like your response to him and to General Bakshi's opening remarks.
Anab, I think for Narendra Modi to start off on a note that he has, and I'm very sorry to hear what General Bakshi has just commented on, which is accusing and taking a decision, a conviction of, without hearing any argument from the Pakistani side. One, I don't want to argue with you that Pakistan can or cannot fight a conventional war, so therefore it is
No, but there's a fact there,
resorted
isn't
to
it?
a
I mean, you have,
system.
there's a fact there.
No,
You know,
no,
isn't
hold on,
it,
hold
General
on.
Qureshi? You have diverted your attention because of your conflict on your western border. You have an internal crisis in Pakistan. You are absorbed in your internal security issues. Your government openly acknowledges that Pakistan faces an existential threat to its integrity and sovereignty as a result of the terror industry in the country, a fact reported by your media and not a creation by us. I mean, the fact that Pakistan is a walking, talking disaster today is something that you yourself acknowledge. What has Modi said?
Listen,
Modi has only
if you asked us,
emphasized that.
You have an issue, you have a problem, you come up with a question and then you start answering it yourself. Once you've called us here to contribute, if you want to listen, that is, I think people in India must also listen to our point of view. Now, talking about Pakistan not having the conventional capability to fight a war is your assessment, frankly. I have a different opinion. However, we are not talking about war.
No, that's just a point he made there.
Pakistan and India going to war. We are trying, and I think the government, not just this government, but perhaps even the previous government, has tried its best to come to a situation where there is talks, constructive talks, positive talks, talks that will achieve results between India and Pakistan, and there is no doubt in my mind.
Sir, you cannot.
may have a difference of opinion here.
What has Modi
that the people of India and the people of Pakistan want peace.
No, what has Modi said?
There is no doubt about it. The government says that.
Sir, General Qureshi,
independent assessments say that.
General Qureshi, I feel today that as a former army man, you have been hurt. You have become a little touchy about what Modi has said, especially when Modi says that Pakistan as a country has lost the strength to fight a conventional war. And I don't personally want to argue with you on that, though I know, General Qureshi, you know that our active forces of India are double that of yours. We have about 900 more battle tanks than yours. We have double the amount of tactical submarines which you have. So even in military terms, Maruf can counter you on that. Pakistan has no capacity to fight a conventional war with India. But on top of that also, your financial health, sir, Mr. Qureshi, and Sadia Khan, your financial health, your losses due to terror attacks. You know, these are certain facts. What is wrong if Modi is putting it on the table?
Excuse me, very unfortunate statement by Indian Prime Minister Mr. Modi. And I don't know background of this statement given by him on this occasion when Prime Minister Nawaz Sharif has accepted his ceremonial invitation. He came forward. We were moving forward. We have shaked hand with them. We have not given any statement. We have not tagged past with India in his previous visit. And we were expecting that Prime Minister Modi, as per his statement, previous statement before oath and after oath, that we will be going forward for negotiations on diplomat level. But unfortunately, one thing, there are two things matters. One thing, I don't know the background, like if Prime Minister of Pakistan has visited India, it doesn't mean Pakistan is not capable of anything.
No,
and Mr.
but
Modi
you
is
know,
falling in conclusion.
Miss Sadia Khan, why are you
falling in conclusion
why are you responding negatively to what Modi has said?
Why he is talking about war? In any case, either on border, either conventional. You can't judge capacity of any country. Pakistan and India are sharing 3,200 kilometer border with each other.
Miss Khan,
in case of any calamity, any disaster, any terrorism, any
Miss Khan, let me ask you.
Countries will have to suffer.
Miss Sadia Khan.
Countries are very important.
Miss Khan, let me ask you.
Atomic parts.
Miss Khan, let me ask. This is not a daring strategy. You know, nobody wants a war, and I know that it must hurt Pakistan when the Prime Minister of India tells you on your face that you have no capacity to fight a conventional war with India. Manmohan Singh didn't say that. Modi has said that to you today. But let's leave that aside. Miss Khan, my question to you is. Miss Khan, my question to you is. Miss Khan, my question to you is, why didn't you feel hurt when your own president admitted that you are a terrorist country? Your own Pakistani president Zardari admitted that we use terrorist group to achieve our foreign policy goals.
we are victim of terrorism
No, but-
since decades.
no, but
we
why-
have suffered from
Do you
insurgency.
disagree?
Pakistani nation, they are very
Ms.
brave
Khan-
nation. They are facing all these
No, no.
issues and problems since
Ms.
decades,
Khan-
but still they are standing.
Ms. Khan-
No. You can't judge our capacity like
Ms. Khan,
this.
we are not
either
judging
sitting
your
on media or
capacity.
any-
No,
yeah.
we are not judging your capacity, though it is true that the Indian Prime Minister has said you are in no position to fight a conventional war with India. You can let the military
How can you
experts
judge
debate
this?
that.
How can you?
You
Why
can let the
why
military
are you
experts
becoming
dictate that.
judgmental about our capacity.
Well, I mean, you can let the military experts dictate that, Ms. Khan. I don't want to get into that debate.
Economic issues like
And-
India have,
and-
Pakistan have, we have population, other issues. These are internal matters.
Miss-
but
Miss-
it doesn't have to do across the borders.
Miss
We know how to talk.
Miss Khan,
We know how to talk on the borders. We know. I think like there are some issues and there are some forces in India. We don't want that after 2 weeks there would be bilateral diplomat meetings in Pakistan between India and Pakistan, and I think that will hurt. We will hurt in that case if you people.
No,
will
you
not
see
move
that
forward.
what has happened
If you-
today is
we are-
significant,
we are
I think.
shaking hand,
No, what
we
has
are
happened
coming
is very
forward.
significant because I can feel your hurt. I can empathize with your hurt today.
No.
General Qureshi and Sadia Khan. I completely understand that you must be feeling hurt that the Indian Prime Minister has looked you back in the eye and told you the truth. But at the same time, General Qureshi.
If somebody is hurt, no, you are not listening.
No,
to me. You
General-
should
Miss
listen to
Sadia
me.
Khan-
If you are asking question, you should not reply it yourself.
No,
I have
Sadia
said
Khan,
that.
a
We
fact
as
is, I
a
asked you
nation,
that were you not
we
hurt
as a
when
representative
your
of
own
the
president
party,
admitted?
We are not hurt.
No, were you not hurt when your own president
you are
admitted
changing
that you
statement.
support terror groups to achieve foreign policy goals? Were you not hurt when your former ambassador to the
Never,
United
never.
States,
Now
Hussein
you are
Haqqani,
totally
Hussein
diverted.
Haqqani released a book
No.
called Magnificent Delusions, in which he confessed
Listen,
that Pakistan
Arnab,
officially supports
what-
terrorism? You are hurt when Narendra Modi
What
tells you
Nadia-
that.
No.
You are not hurt when your own ambassadors and your own prime ministers say that. Maruf wants to come to the debate. Maruf.
War against terror with the name of Zarb-e-Azab in Pakistan, and right now we are fighting that.
Maruf.
Now, before we get Maruf to comment
Okay,
on
ma'am,
this, I just want to say
General
here,
Sahab,
there's no question of anyone being hurt.
Sir,
it's
I
an
understand.
assessment carried out by the Indian Prime Minister, which is wrong in my opinion, in
Sir.
our opinion. However, that's not the issue.
Okay,
I think
General Sahab.
in Pakistan, the country is convinced that whenever peace has a chance of success, whenever the two countries are about to get together and talk
What
about
peace? What
our
peace, sir?
mutual relationship.
What
The
peace do you?
Indians,
What peace do you
whether the Prime
propose?
Minister or the President.
Sir,
hold
sir,
on.
sir, what peace do
they
you
come
propose?
up with a statement
Sir,
that will prevent
how will it
people moving
prevent-
forward.
how will it prevent-
the two countries?
How will it prevent-
the
General
two
Qureshi.
countries moving forward?
How will
towards
it
the
prevent
peaceful
when somebody
solution
tells you
of all
when somebody
problems
tells
that
you
we
to
have?
stop proxy
Now,
war,
that's-
you should
that's
come
the
forward and say
perception-
it will help us.
That is the perception
When somebody
that
tells
people
you,
in
General
Pakistan
Qureshi,
have.
General
And now
Qureshi,
each time you talk about Modi and you keep saying that, oh, I can understand you're hurt. Nobody's hurt.
Sir,
We just
it's a-
laugh at the assessment that the Prime Minister of India is carrying out about Pakistan.
Sir, you know,
Unfortunate,
I
but we
just,
understand it in
sir,
the environment
Qureshi.
that perhaps you don't want the peace process to move forward.
General Qureshi, I don't understand what you are saying here today because I don't know
can I
why you
please
are
come in?
so sensitive today. Today, the Hizbul Mujahideen has claimed responsibility for an attack on a border security force convoy at Pampore in Jammu and Kashmir. What is the Hizbul? It is one paid bunch of mercenary vestiges
not
of the
heard of this.
Pakistani army.
Me too.
Right? In fact, the Hizbul chief himself has admitted that he has a free run in Pakistan. Is it not true that it is allowed to have hundreds of
No.
terror camps on your soil?
No.
What has Modi told you
No.
today? Of course he has.
No.
Yes, sir, he has.
No.
Syed Salahuddin has. What are you saying, sir?
You ask a question and then you answer it yourself.
Sir, Syed
And then
Salahuddin
you
has
insist
confessed
that what you say
Pakistan's
is correct.
involvement.
So it's
General
pointless
Qureshi,
having
will
us
you
on this
come in?
discussion.
1 minute. Maruf wants to say
Sure,
something
sir.
here. Maruf.
No, Arnab, let me ask them a few questions and they will be put, they'll find it difficult to answer. General Sahab, let me first put it in context and then ask you a few questions. Firstly, during the Cold War, tension and talks between the West and the Soviet bloc were prevalent, but talks still happened when tensions existed. So do not link talks or do not state that talks can be called off by one statement by the Indian Prime Minister. The Indian Prime Minister is stating a fact.
Very good.
Can you deny that General Zia initiated a policy of bleeding India by 1,000 cuts 10 years before Kargil in 89? Can you deny that Pakistan's army in itself admits that convention? Sir, please hear me out. Pakistan's army itself admits, and I'm not saying so, Hokis Hussain Haqqani says so, Ahmed Rashid says so, Stephen Tankel says so, and most recently Christine Fair in a book, Fighting to the Finish, says so.
Sir, Musharraf says so.
Army
Musharraf says so.
Conventional
Musharraf says so.
lack of superiority, and therefore
General Zia, the poor gentleman, died in 1988.
Arnab, just let me complete. Just let me complete. General Musharraf even went on record to say that I can unleash thousands of Taliban and Lashkar groups on India at the drop of a hat if I decide to use them as strategic assets. This is on record. Now, what I want to tell you is that what Mr. Modi is alluding to, that the Pakistan army wants to fight a proxy war under the umbrella of a nuclear weapon, therefore you think you have the license to get away with everything. What Mr. Modi has done is very smartly raise the level of calling off your bluff by saying that you cannot get away with it forever. Should you decide to continue with proxy war and kill Indian citizens mercilessly, India has ability to respond, and one of them is known to you, sir, as a military officer, which we call the cold start doctrine, and you don't have a response for that at this point of time. So what I'm trying to say is what Modi has said is stated the facts that we can respond, we will respond, our threshold of patience is now exhausted. So please go back to your drawing board and think up of another strategy to deal with India outside proxy war.
You're really going to have, I sense our guests in Islamabad today, Pawan Verma, are really going to have to re-evaluate the manner in which they thought they would get away. Because when a Prime Minister says something as clearly as this, and we know, Pawan Verma, as many disagreements on political fronts may happen with Mr. Modi, but on strategic issues we are together. As a former diplomat, what's your message to our guests in Islamabad?
The point is very clear, it's beyond debate that the Pakistani state or elements in the Pakistani state have followed a policy of terrorist and proxy war against India. There is verifiable evidence, I don't know what we are debating, and it continues. Now what I am mystified about, and I want to say this, I want to ask Maruf also this question. Since this new government came to power, there have been 19 ceasefire violations. The latest one, Arnab, you mentioned, was a rather daring attack in the south of Kashmir on a BSF convoy in which 6 people were injured. On June 13th, our government said that peace on the border is a precondition for normal relations. On June 15th, our Honorable Defence Minister said that ceasefire violations must stop. Obviously, Pakistan is not following this policy in spite of Mr. Nawaz Sharif being present at the oath ceremony and having biryani or dhokla. So that's very clear. My question is that instead of 2 nuclear weapon powers talking about the possibility of conventional warfare, which is rather irresponsible and fairly dangerous, I don't know why we have announced foreign secretary level talks on August 25th and not withdrawn them.
You
and
feel
what
we
are
should?
The talks about? The talks are about talks, not a resumption of the
You feel we should?
My question is, what is our response? Because Pakistani policy against India is well known even after Mr. Modi has come to power. For all his hard talk during the elections, there have been 19 ceasefire violations. The army is valiantly fighting in the valley. What is our foreign policy and how are we planning to deal with Pakistan? There is no point debating the fact that they are backing a proxy war.
Well, it's a message.
War. That is established.
It's a message. And our third panelist joining from Karachi, Air Vice Marshal Abid Rao.
Mr. Verma? Ornab.
Air Vice Marshal Abid Rao, Maruf.
Arnab, can I respond to Mr. Verma quickly?
No, 1 second.
Yes.
Air Vice Marshal
Can I
Abid Rao,
respond,
let's
Mr.
get the
Verma? Just the
Pakistani
point is,
panelists,
sir,
then I'll come back to you, Maroof. I will. But Air Vice
he's
Marshal
asked me
Abid
a
Rao,
question.
here is the Prime Minister.
Question.
No, at this stage of the debate. Maroof, 1 second.
You are going to, Arnab, you are going to get nowhere. You are going to get nowhere talking to the civilian establishment in Pakistan. Nawaz Sharif is not entirely in control. Unless you get the army on board, you're going to be talking to the wall and whistling in the dark. Because unless the army in Pakistan is a signatory to any arrangement, it doesn't stand.
Your response would have been to ask, why have these talks which you have announced? They have been suspended from September 2013 because of ceasefire violations.